Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ayush and today we are going to start a new series in which we will be solving questions that have been asked in interviews of various companies like product companies or service companies for the role of data analyst, data engineers or business analyst. Why I started this series? Because since I am also an aspiring analyst who wants to get into the field of data, and I have been practicing some interview questions from YouTube, from LeetCode, and from other sources. So I thought that I should start a series in which I am solving these questions and putting my solutions out so that you guys can also benefit from it and you have a playlist wherein a good quality of interview questions are solved. I know that I am a beginner and my solution may not be the very optimum solution, but I can assure you that the questions that you will find here would be of good quality because I will ensure that during my practice and my preparation, I am also practicing through questions uh, which are a little bit difficult, a little above than the intermediate difficulty, or which is of high quality, or some type of questions which are regularly asked in interviews, repetitively asked in interviews, right? So with this intent, I thought of starting the series, and today is the first video. And along with this, I will upload many other videos related to my projects and my progress as well. Recently, I have made a very high level project on SQL, about which I will make a video also on and upload it on YouTube. I have already deployed the project on GitHub, although I have made a private repository since I think that project is of a really good quality. I may not be a good judge, but I think that it is a very good quality project, and I made that project 100% by my own. I took zero help of YouTube, zero help of any AI tools. Well, I won't say zero help, but certain cases where I needed to beautify the statements, or where I was not able to do some kind of debugging, and yeah, there were lots of things that went south during the project. But yeah, due to and because of that, I was taking some help from ChatGPT and something other AI tools. But I would say that the rest part was completely done by me, finding the questions, finding the right business insights. We will dive deep into we will dive deep we will dive we will dive deep into our project in some other video, but for today, let's start with our interview series question. So let's go on to our first question. The first in your first question, in our first question, fuck. We will deep dive about our project in some other video. For now, let's look at our today's question. In our question, it is given that we have two tables. One is a watch buddies table and other is a favorites table. In watch buddies table, we have two columns, user ID and buddy ID. You can consider this watch buddies table as friends table also. Like user ID 101 has friend ID of 102, 3 and 4. You can say that the user ID 1 has friends with IDs 2, 3, 4. Okay. Similarly, for this user ID, we have friends as 101. For user ID 3, we have friends 1 and 4. Okay. And for the other table, which is the favorites table, we have the user ID and movie ID, which says which user likes which movie. For example, if you see for 101 user ID, he or she likes three movies: Inception, Interstellar, and Tenet. Similarly, for 102, that person only likes Inception. Okay. Now our question is, find movies that users haven't favorited yet, but their watch buddies have, and recommend those movies to them. Okay, what this question is basically asking us to do is that we need to find all those movies that a particular user does not like them, but their friends like them. Okay, so let's understand by example. But before that, I would like to move to my SQL server so that I will show the tables there and it will be easier for us to understand. So this is my SQL Server window. The create table and insert value statements will be given to you in your description box so that you guys can also practice along with me, or you can solve your query right now before watching my solution. Okay. So I will first select these two tables so that we can see the data. Was buddies, and then I have select star from favorites. Okay, so this is our data. Let me just show you here. Okay, so we have these two tables. The first is the watch buddies table and second is the favorites table. Now what the question is asking, to find the users that haven't favorited a movie but their friends have favorited that movie. Okay, for example, if you look for 102 user ID, the buddy is 101 and 101 likes Inception, Interstellar and Tenet, but 102 likes only Inception. So we need to write a query such that we can recommend the movies Interstellar and Tenet to 102. Why? Because the buddy of 102, which is 101, likes the other two movies as well, but 102 doesn't like that. Okay, let's take another example. Let's take for 103. 103 has buddies 101 and 104. Okay, now 101 likes all the three movies Inception, Interstellar and Tenet, and 104 likes Interstellar, but 103 likes only Interstellar and Tenet. So since the buddy of 103, which is 101, also likes Inception but 103 doesn't like it, so we can recommend the movie Inception to user ID 103, and similarly for 104 we can recommend Inception and Tenet to 104. Okay, now first what we need to do, we will break this problem into two steps. First we will find all those users buddies and what movie does the user likes. Okay, so for example, we will join these two tables obviously, because without joining we cannot do any further operations. And what we will join on, first we will make sure that we need to find, for example, let's say user 1 likes, user 1 has buddy as 102, 103 and 104. Okay, so now we will find the movies liked by the users buddies. Okay, we will join the table in such a way that we get the user ID 101, the buddy of the user ID 101, and what movie does the buddy like. Okay, so if we will join, the output should something be like, for 101 buddy ID 102, the movie that 102 likes is Inception. So Inception will be shown here. Okay, similarly for 10, since 103 likes two movies, here two movies will be shown. Here two movies will be shown for 103. Okay, and one movie for 104. Okay, so for this we will need to join the watch buddies table on the favorites table. Okay, so let me first write the query. Select from watch buddies W inner join, or you can do left join also, or just simple join, inner join favorites F on W dot buddy ID is equal to F dot user ID. Why we are joining with buddy ID? Because we want to find the movies the users buddies like. Okay, just like how I explained right now. Now if I select everything and show you, here you can see. Okay, let me order by also, order by user ID F dot user ID, or rather I should say W dot user ID. Okay. Oh. Now you can see for 101 the buddy is 102 and the movie liked by buddy is Inception. Okay, similarly for 101 we have buddy 103 and that person likes two movies, 104 likes one movie. Okay, if you check for further rows, you see that 102 has buddy 101 and 101 likes all the three movies present, Tenet, Inception and Interstellar. Okay, you can check for further rows also. Now what we need to do is, we will do one thing here. Instead of making it another CT, we will join it again with the favorites table, so that right now what we have right now, we have the users friends, the users buddies who likes the movies. Okay, but we do not know if the user likes if the buddy likes the movie or not. For example, for 101 we have the movie 102 Inception. Okay, for 101 and for the buddy 103 we have two movies, Interstellar and Tenet. Okay, let's not take example of 101 because 101 likes all the movies. Let's see for 102. Okay, what I'm trying to say here is, For 102 we have the buddy ID 101, and buddy 101 likes the movie Tenet, Inception and Interstellar. Okay, but now we will join in such a way that we need to find if these movies are liked by the user or not. Okay, we need to find if the buddy's movies, if the buddy ID's movies is equal to the user ID's movies. With this we will, if we do not, if the user does not like the movies of the buddy, then it will show as null. Okay, let me show you here so that you get a better understanding. Now this time we will do left join, because there are possibilities that the data might get lost and there can be null values. That's why we do not want the null values to get deleted, because of which we are using left join. We will left join again by the favorites table, since we are trying to find out the favorites of the user ID now, not of the users buddies but of the users. Left join favorites F1 we will do right now on. This time we will do w dot one minute. This time we will do w dot user ID, or we can also do with f dot user ID also, on w dot user ID equal to f1 dot user ID. Okay, now if we will run this query, we have our output, but here in this case you will see that there is some error, because you see that user ID 101 has like 12 rows. Why? Because of two reasons. First, there are 101 has 3 buddies, 2, 3 and 4, and total number of movies liked by these buddies is 4. How? 2 likes 1 movie, 103 likes 2 movies, and 4 likes 1 movie. So we have total of 4 movies and 3 buddies. 3 into 4 gives us 12. Okay, so that's why we have 12 rows for 101. But this is not our right answer, because here we are not able to determine if 102 likes the movie or not. Okay, I mean if the user likes the movie or not. So let's see for 102. Okay, here you see 102 has buddy ID of 101. The buddy likes these 3 movies, but the user ID likes Inception. Okay, so here we need, this row is fine, but for these 2 rows we need to return that the user ID 102 should be recommended movie ID Interstellar and Tenet. Okay, we need these 2 cells null. Okay, for that what we will do, since this row is okay, this row is what we want, we will join these 2 on another condition, which is that the movie IDs should be same. Okay, now if I will do and f dot movie ID equal to f1 dot movie ID, let's run this again. Now here you can see what happens is, for 102 okay, I've done okay, it's good. Okay, for 102 Inception is correct, because 102 likes Inception and 101 also likes Inception. But for 102 does not like the movies Interstellar and Tenet, but his buddy, which is 101, likes these 2 movies. That's why we can recommend these 2 movies to 102. Okay, let's take another example. Let's take for 104. Okay, 104 has buddy of 101 and 103. Okay, 101 likes all 3 movies. Wait, 101 likes all 3 movies. Okay, and 103 likes only 2 movies. So okay, 101 likes 3 movies, 103 likes 2 movies, but 104 only likes Interstellar. Okay, so we can recommend Inception and Tenet and again Tenet. So we can basically recommend Inception and Tenet to 104. Okay, now what we will do is, if I will put up a where condition here, where let's say f dot, no, let f dot f1 dot movie ID is null. Now if I run this part, you see that we now have all the movies that the user ID should be recommended. Okay, that one user ID should be recommended. Why? Because that user ID does not like that movie, but his buddy likes that movie. Okay, so here you can see for 102, the buddy ID 101, he likes Interstellar and Tenet, so we are now recommending him Interstellar and Tenet. Okay, Now with this we complete our table query, I guess. Now if I will do just select here user ID, I should say w dot user ID, and this is f dot movie ID, and I guess I will do distinct here because here you can see for 104 we have 3 rows, I mean 2 duplicate rows. We do not want this, so I will do distinct w.user id f.movie id. Okay, now if I select this, here you can see here are all the movies that these users should be recommended. Why? Because these users do not have not favorited these movies, but their buddies have. Okay, so for just for clarification, let me show you. If I'll select the favorites, if I run these two tables, okay, see the first table is the favorites table. Here you can see 102 likes Inception, and here in our query we have returned that 102 should be recommended the other two movies. Okay, so with this we complete our question. It was a simple question. It was not a simple question, I would say, because you have to join the same table two times and with different conditions, and it is a case of anti-join, because here we need to return the values where after joining the two tables the values returned are null. Some rows, some cells of certain rows are null and we want to return those rows. Okay, so this is also called an anti-join case. So yeah, with this I would like to end today's video. Hope you like this question. I will put the create statement and insert values queries in the description box, so that you can also run this in your SQL database and practice this question, and practice this question before me, or you can watch along and see what improvements you could have made, what mistakes you did while solving this, what kind of logic you were not able to figure out. With this, let's end today's video, and happy learning.